Hey guys, this is Mike John. Gonna play some Transport Fever 2, and this is a game that I really like. I've never recorded anything, but I was playing through the campaign, and there's only a few helpful videos out there, and I really enjoy it, but it definitely has some issues and some little nitpicky things that some helpful guides would be good for. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm actually gonna start on the fourth mission, as I feel like the first three are really tutorial missions, like, how to connect rails, how to move the camera, setting up basic things. I'll cover some of that in this mission, but they're really not interesting from a play. As the missions go on, there's more flexibility in your routes and your lines and how you're adapting to the little missions they give you. And I really think that starts here, where you can do a few more interesting things. So we're not going to be paying attention to the story or all that. We're just going to be doing what we need to do. And it's really loud. Turn off that music. Okay, so we'll still have game volume, but don't need that music playing or them saying anything. So the first thing we have to do is deliver 30 logs to top, and the logs are here. So I described this game as a mix between city skylines and city. There's some, you have to deal with traffic, and cities are divided up into, residential, commercial, industrial, RCI. And there's railroad building, so some railroad tycoon. And then there's a little bit of Factorio, but a little bit of logistics. And honestly, that's a mix of three different types of games that I like. So logs are here, going to be delivering here. This is a pretty easy delivery with a road. All you got to do is deliver 30 logs, and this is done. So I'm going to build using these small country roads, speed limit of 40 kilometers per hour. Why do I use those? Because if you come into the buildings, there's really two buildings. There's tram buildings, and there's buses and trucks. So if I plop this depot down, you'll see the vehicles we have to buy, there's only one, and it's a horse-drawn carriage with a speed limit of 20 kilometers an hour. So there's no point in getting bigger roads because we're only going to go 20 miles an hour, or 20 kilometers an hour, sorry. So first thing to do is grab that small road and just use the road tool, go around, connect it into there. And then to collect the logs from this, we have to have a truck station. So there's a truck unload stop, I call these depots, and a truck station. So depots, you can only drop stuff off. It's really good for in cities and other applications, as we'll see. The truck stop is so you can pick things up. You have some options over here. I usually just go 0, 1. So the number of platforms, since we're only going to be loading one good, I only really care about one platform. And I make it long so I can store stuff if I run into trouble or my horses are slow. And in free play, I would say you can come in here and configure, and you can do one ways, and you can change all this around and make it real custom and real nice for your system. And I love doing that in the free play. In the campaign, it never matters. Just save yourself the time and build depots like this. Maybe an extra slot as we get more complicated, or the town. So the town only needs logs, so we'll keep it simple. Now I do suggest when you go to, I'm going to destroy this. Oh. Yeah, sorry. I destroyed it inside the configure. You have to destroy it outside. Anyway, so when you go to place your depot and you're on the road, you'll see it turns white. That means it's connected. And as you get farther and farther away, it's not connected anymore. So honestly, I want to make my line as short as possible. So I connect it over here so it has the shortest distance to travel to the town. And we got to put a depot, which is the unload station, where it covers the most log buildings. That's easy. And then we'll buy, we need 30, they each carry 5, so we'll just get 6. Money. I don't know, I might be playing this on easy mode. I forgot to check the settings beforehand, but rarely matters. You're typically going to have plenty of money. when you destroy stuff, you don't get back full value. I think it's like 80-something%. I haven't checked the math, but don't worry about it. I always play strategy games paused, and so worried about money. Don't really have to in this game. And I try to just keep the game running whenever I can. So I've bought those 6 vehicles, and now we just need to set up a line between these 2 points. So I'll create all, here to here. That little click means they're all good, and I'll speed up time, they'll start flowing out. And we should see everything's gone according to plan. Logs are now being delivered from here, there. That's why you see the little log icon. They'll come pick them up, bring them down here. So that's the big thing. The nitpicky thing is connecting stations. So to connect, if you click on it, you can see that it's connected. When you click on that, you can see all the white is the area that serves. That was all pretty much the log area. That's the biggest thing, is people forget to connect stations and then wondering why something's not getting delivered, and it's some stupid little road connection. So getting those right is important. So as you're going through all your planning, you know, you're like, why don't I have logs? And realize it 20 minutes later. Not that it matters too much. That's why you can just keep the game running. So this level is a lot of fun. You can see already, even, I mean, not using information, and I'll try to play the mission as intended, not jump ahead too much or start putting stuff down that I didn't ask for. But you can see over here we have cactus and guano. The cactus is obviously going to go from here to here to make the alcohol, the tequila, I'm guessing. And then we're getting guano from this island over here. There's silver. Silver needs to get over here to make spoons. And right now I don't know where the spoons or the alcohol is going, but I'm sure they'll pop some things in that will show me where to take it. But I can already start thinking about how am I going to connect this. So boats are great. And we do have, that's another reason I started on mission 4. We finally have ships. And if it's close to the water, I'll ship it. It takes longer. But generally I like that better than messing with roads or rails. If I have the chance, is just to ship it. So we're about done with our log delivery, and the next mission will pop up. Bonus tasks, there's 3 of them each mission. They come up at predetermined times, so there's no reason waiting around. They'll pop up when they need to, and we'll focus on those to make sure we finish them. Because if you finish the I unpaused the music there. If we finish the main mission before the bonus, you don't get the bonus task completed. So we'll focus on the bonus ones when they come up. So we got to find out what cargo is needed. Here, there's our spoon delivery and our alcohol delivery. Okay, so we're going to set this up 20 alcohol to supply the hospital. Now you could, truck, I guess, from here to here, down to there. But it just wouldn't set you up well for later in the mission. Nor is it like a good long-term thinking. Most of the time that helps you in these is think about what makes the most sense long-term. Sometimes it doesn't. At some levels where they just really want you to do a certain thing. So I'm going to try to get this cargo to capture both these 2, so I only have to have 1. So I'm going to sneak it as far back in the land, and I could remove land if I want. I just don't think it's necessary here. I think these are going to catch. And after I place it down, I go with my boring small streets. Oh, bonus mission. The real streetcar. Okay, so we got to build streetcars. Avoid stops near the hotel and hospital. So we'll put a pause on our alcohol and build a streetcar. So this is a pretty common thing you do in the game, is set up a bus network to meet goals, but also to get private cars off the road. Because if you have a bunch of private traffic, your delivery trucks have a tough time getting in. So setting up a bus network is always worth it, even if you're losing money on the bus network, because you can get cars off the road and make sure your goods are getting transported in, which helps the town grow. So I'm going to set up the bus network first. I'm going to use the bus stops and just set up a nice little route around the edge, avoiding the red circles. So now that I've got my 5 stops, I usually put in about a Ooh. Streetcars. Okay, so we're skipping the buses. So normally you can go in there, set up a bus network, boom, boom, boom. Since we're skipping that in this, the only vehicle, I don't know why they didn't combine these two buildings. Maybe they just wanted more things. But so this is buses and trucks. All this does is trams. And I get it because of the tram lines. So you can see you have to have tram lines to run a tram. And so here we go. This should be, yeah. So now we have streetcars and an electric trolley. So we'll set up, if they want a streetcar, we'll give them a streetcar, 5 stops, 5 streetcars. Great. Set up the line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it doesn't have tram tracks. So you could run buses on this, no problem. But if you want to run a tram, you got to upgrade the roads. There's no, you see the tram lines on here, but not along here. Pretty easy to do. Come in here to my city streets. And these are all medium streets, and I want to upgrade them with, sure, electric tram. A little upgrade tool right here. Then I'll just upgrade the route that I need to make this work. Boom, 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 boom. All right, so we've got the loop set up, and the trams are going. They're not going in the red area. And that's how you make a tram line. Pretty cool. And I'm having issues moving. Thank you. Move. Okay. Whew. Okay, so that's gonna happen. It's all set up. 10 people. They'll start piling up. You can see the little people icons. They'll start piling up. Normally, I would name my lines in a free play. In the campaign, as you go along, yes, it can be helpful. This whole mission, I think we have like 10 lines total, and they're not too hard to, you know, just identify by color versus name. So that might be a little hard to keep track of, but it saves time. And so here we're going to go back to, so we have this cargo bay, but when you click on it, these don't turn white, they don't highlight because these are not connected. So we have to connect them. Good, finish that bonus task. Thank you. And so we need to draw from here. You can see these little connectors. That's how you know it's connected to this. This road is connected. No. Oh, I can turn trams off. No cars are actually going to drive on this. It's purely industry connection. Like, no one's going to drive down. We're not dropping anything off. We just need to connect these so goods will pile up in the port. Now you can see that's highlighted and that's highlighted. So these are all connected. No trucking, no railroad. That works. Switch the line to electrical operation and transport people to the hospital hotel. So now we got to change up. They actually want people to go to these places now. Hotel and hospital are these two. And so this is fairly simple. I think I actually already made it electric. Oh, no horses. That's right. So we got to go into our vehicles. Nope, vehicles. So all these have horses. So we'll select them all, and we'll replace them with the electric trolleys. No horses now. That's, see, and it doesn't really tell you, go select these, you know, electric trolley. You just have to, there's a couple of things it doesn't explain terribly well. So that bonus task is done. The next one will pop up later on, and that's how you finish that. So now we're back to the main mission. 40 silver spoons here, and 20 alcohol to the hospital. Great. So alcohol, let's go back to finishing. So now that we can get the cactus on this boat, we need to offload the cactus here, and we'll do the same thing. Just put in nice little cargo port. Connect them up. Check the connection. Good, good. And then same with the trucks, where you need a tram depot. Sorry, a tram depot and a road depot. For rail, you'll need a rail depot. For ships, you need a ship depot. And I think we only have small vessels, so don't have to worry about large vessels. We're not transporting people, we're transporting goods. So 4 of them, sure. Like I said, money's not too much an issue. This is just trying to get the game moving along. We'll ship from here between these 2 ports. That's going to be our, and look, it's already getting the cactus light ready. So now I got to get the alcohol down here. Couple options. We haven't really done too much strategy yet, so I know I'm going to make silver spoons here. Silver's going to come here. I'm thinking a rail between these two. Could truck it, but just to kind of show off the rail. And the spoons come down here. There is a port already set up, but then I got to go from here to here and the alcohol down to here. It's a good route. And I could set up my, once it offloads on the port, I got to truck it into town. Great. But if I'm already making spoons here, sure, I could port those out and have a central town distribution there. But I think I just ignore that port and just set up one here. And that way the alcohol can come in and the spoons and the alcohol will be right here and we'll just transport everything into town. Probably not the intended way. Sometimes it does punish you for not doing the intended way, but I think I can get away with it here. And I know I can. So we'll throw in another cargo harbor. Try to not impede the waterway too much. See, that's all connected. Double check connection. Good. And then I'll do one of those truck stations because I got to pick up the spoons and then I'm going to pick up the alcohol here as well. So I'll have 2 platforms. And doesn't really matter. Do have to connect it in. So now we check the truck. It can pick up from the cargo and from the silver spoons. I probably could have moved it down here more, but it's okay. Do you have tram lines? Yeah, you do not need tram lines. And that will, oh, gotta add, so this this route that we have, the ships, they're picking up, dropping off, but now we need to tell them, hey, take that alcohol, bring it to this bay, and then you're only empty for that. You want your vehicles to be full as much as possible to make money. It's not terribly important, but it is good rule and help you in free play. And I assume maybe the harder missions of the campaign. So after we want, let's change the order here. We want, you start here, go here, there, and then back. Okay. And then we'll set up the truck. So this one's pretty easy. We'll set up these, because all we're doing is dropping off in town. So we'll just set up a drop off there, and a drop off there. Then I'm actually going to make 2 new lines. I'm going to have a couple trucks just do that. I could have them both, actually. That would put a lot of... So I could have 2 separate routes, one for each, the alcohol and the silver. Not a bad idea. Or I can just combine them. Because I assume the trucks that I can... Oh, I can only buy this. They can carry both. I'm going to separate them. Just to show it off, and it's probably a better rule of thumb. So I'll just buy a couple horses. Put them on a new line. This is going to be our alcohol line. And then I'll buy another 2 horses. Put them on the silver line. Of course, because it's 1886, this does not... Traffic is not a concern that much. Because you can always... oh no, look, they separated. So they're taking off 2 separate and not combining as much. Much more important on the later levels here. This is so small. What this should do is tell this guy... we should look at the screen here. So there's a couple of things. There's production, shipment, and transport. So the production is highlighted here because it's saying, I can't produce. I don't have any cactus. Well, we're working on it, okay? Don't be so greedy. 14, 13, 14. And so that's saying I can produce, no problem. I can always produce cactus. Hey, you're shipping all of... I can ship all of my cactus. So it's like, this is supply. What can I supply? Shipment is actually demand. What's demanding? So right now this is demanding all, because it wants to produce 100 alcohol, and so it's asking for 100 cactus. So this guy says, my demand is 100. Now the transport's flashing 0 because it's trying to figure out effectively how much of my 100 are you transporting effectively. The game operates on a 12-minute cycle. So as you can see, the frequency, I need to set up a line that I can deliver 100 in 12 minutes. I have 3 that can each carry 70, I think. Yeah, 70. And they come every 6 minutes. So if I'm delivering a ship every 6 minutes, that ship only has to carry half of the 100. Because it's 100 every 12 minutes. If I'm coming every 6, I got to be able to pick up 50. So if I can pick up 70, I'm totally fine. And that's how it is. If you really want, you don't have to optimize that. You can just shove 6 ships and have some run empty. You have to worry about getting clogged up and clogging your ports and stuff. But it's very flexible. It's very lenient. So I think it matters more if you're really trying to go for an optimized setup. And then you just have to think about that. How much is it producing every 12 minutes? How often is my frequency? And then you take your frequency and just think about it. If your frequency is 12 minutes, your size of your cargo needs to be the production value. So it needs to be 100. If I'm delivering twice as often, my cargo size only has to be 50. And the game does care about weights. So trucks, not trucks, but rails carrying cargo move slower, and that's kind of the fun of the game. I'm getting ahead of myself. So, yep, we have alcohol being delivered. It's figuring out this supply line, and it's delivering alcohol to the hotel here pretty soon, which means we need to get on our railway. So we'll do a very, very simple railway here. Just a single cargo line. Try to line them up a little bit. I want to put them close enough where I can just tie it in. A little bit of fine control there. And that's fine. And I'll just put one right. And quiet you. There. So I want, that's connected in, we can double check. Now everything, I could deliver something to this cargo and have it picked up by the rail, or the rail, you can see how, without having trucks from here to here, now it's all connected. It has a nice, I wish it would show you the radius, but it does not. So we have that connected. We'll draw our rail right between the two. And so when you draw between, it just, the height in these, luckily this is nice and flat, but you can see it dug away a good amount of dirt there, keeping it flat. If you want to stick to the terrain more, you can go across in small amounts like that, and it will try to stick to the terrain more. Hello, bear. Honestly, most of the time I just have the money, drag through, destroyed landscape. Trains go faster. That's a win for me. Same here, you gotta have a depot. Everything's gotta have a place where you can buy and source vehicles. And we'll just tie that depot into the rail. And we'll buy a train. We need to transport the silver. There's a log drop-off. So maybe at some point I do another rail up to the logs. But for now, I just need the spoons to go to the hotel. 40 silver spoons. So let's buy a nice little vehicle. Lots of options. Let's look at, so we don't have any multiple units. This is like all-in-one locomotive and wagon. So we're going to need at least one locomotive to run the train, and then wagons to carry our cargo. We're stuck to these 4. It really, pick a train that you think. How do you pick a train? It really doesn't matter at the end of the day. You just want something that has, don't worry about the money. They'll make money as long as you don't build them comically large. I care about my pulling power, my power here. I don't have a lot of slopes, or I try to design my rails with general low scope, so I don't worry too much about tractive unless you get a really long train or you have to deal with some mountainous terrain. But for most of the campaign, I think about speed, but also I think about my power, and maybe a little bit about cost. But so what am I going to want to carry? I'm going to carry not spoons. We're going to carry the raw silver. We only have to do 40, so 2 of these gets us to 14. 3 is half of that. So if I have 3 that can carry 21, which is going to be even a little bit overkill. If I take this, I just go off this. I'm sure there's good calculations here, and you can look at more, but I want this number to be good or excellent. And so if it's not good enough, I'll just jump up to a higher good, perfect. 1.6 million, great. New line, we can go from here to here. So now that's gonna get silver. Silver's gonna turn into spoons. Spoons are gonna be delivered to the sidings here. Sidings are gonna deliver it here. We'll be complete. There is definitely periods of downtime as you can. I keep the game running full blast, and it still can be a little slow. So a couple of things to finished up there. Does the music restart? I'm just gonna mute it then. Restarts every time. Not that it's not pleasant, but don't need music. Which commodity do you want to export overseas? Okay, so if I'm gonna export it overseas, I'm probably gonna have to bring it out of this port. Spoons, I can get down there. I can get down there via this cargo port really easily. Boom. The spoons can also go out into the town via the truck, but they can get dropped off there and come right down there. So let's just do the spoons. I think the alcohol would have been fine too. I could deliver the alcohol from here down to there instead of stopping at the port here, but yep, 60 spoons there. Okay, so I'm just gonna buy a couple more, make sure they can carry spoons. 60 of them. What's my 70? Yeah, sure. 2 just because I don't want to wait around. Don't sell them. Sign them to a route. And we'll just go from here to here. Oh! So I did pause here because we get a bonus mission. I just want to make sure we don't finish those 60 before we can finish the bonus mission. Story. So it wants us to bring 10 people to this point up here. And decorate the area with 10 trees. So it really wants to show off its asset creation. And so you put some trees in with the plant tool, and that's done. So now I have to get 10 people up there, though. And this is where common sense sometimes bites you in the butt. Like, if I was doing this, I have this central route for the city, and then this is like a, like a vacation spot, a little weekend or a little Saturday getaway. So I would just do a horse-drawn carriage from North Street, which is the closest one, and just run out there and back. And you can do that in this, and it'll work perfectly fine. Pause. But it's slow because the game will like generate people at these stations. They all have to ride around to that station. They then have to wait for something that's on this to come back and then go up. And so it just takes longer for you to get your 10 people that you need. And so while it's completely dumb, I just add, I think the fastest way to do it is just add this station into your city. So and I'll just do it with the trams to show off kind of the ridiculousness of it. But it works perfectly fine. So, and even trams on dirt roads, which I love. So we are all connected. I'm just going to connect this so that I think it's a little shorter route. I can sneak through here. And also my trucks are going to use this, and maybe the trams can use this. So I've snuck through this, and now I just got to run it. And connect, done. Alright, so we're connected up there, but here's the funny thing is like, I want to make this dirt road electric. And upgrade. So that makes total sense. And I'll add these electric lines all the way up to the peak. And then make sure we can... so these are all red because it's like, you want to upgrade this to a small dirt road with tram. None of this is small dirt road with tram, it's city road. So you have to come back over to city and it will recognize, it's basically recognize whatever, like I have electric on and medium street. So the blue is all that meet that criteria and the red are not, and you can upgrade with the upgrade tool. So the problem is, well, you have small country road, all of it's red, and you think, oh, I'll just go in and upgrade, but you're upgrading it with country road because it's matching what you have selected. So when I get into the city, I don't want the country road, I just want the road we've been using. I'll probably come out of, it really doesn't matter, come out of this one all the way down and then back here, and I'll do a little bit of looping there, but we made that city road. Perfect. And then need a bus stop out in the middle of nowhere. We can deliver all the levers up to Lover's Lane. And then add it to the rail. So this is one thing where you start labeling, but I know yellow is my tram line. I'm going to add it between 1 and 2. Go. So now it's just going to take all the trams up there. And that reminds me, I want more trams. Like double the trams. Plus some more. Clone tool here is very nice for this kind of situation. And so now that it's all taken care of, go save. All the new trams come out. But I think this is going to make sure it's all connected. Yeah, all this is gray, not red. Doesn't have an issue. You get a big... The only time I really pause the game is make sure I finish bonus goals, and then if this turns red, like a line broke or 2 trains come head to head or something. Most of the other times I just try to keep the game running to finish all this stuff. So, whoa. Oh, see, why am I frustrated? Because I forgot to connect this. So this silver couldn't get to this depot because that wasn't there. That's what I meant by don't need trams anymore, but we'll keep it there. That's what I meant by nitpicky. Sometimes when you're setting up your new line, so now it recognizes it can deliver silver, silver can start coming down. I guess that last one where it was 40 spoons was optional. Like it was either 20 alcohol or 40 spoons. We just did the alcohol first. And here's a good thing is this silver spoon factory doesn't have anything, so it can't make anything. So that's why it's going to say, I don't have what I need, I can't produce. So we're coming. All my tram lines. 5 people on that one. 0, 0, 1. Yep, so we're going to get those 10 people way before we get these spoons done. Alright, so we dropped off from silver. It's now saying, alright, I'm producing it, and it knows it can ship it out. It knows it has the demand. Now, who's demanding it? 2 places. Because we have lines set up to the hotel and to the export, the ship line and the truck line. It's splitting based on the ratio between what things need. So this says, I want to produce 100. This export wants to produce 300, so it's going to split it in a 3-to-1 ratio. For its consumers, roughly 3-to-1, yeah, or 12. But we don't, and that's fine. That's not the end of the world. But like the mission is over to deliver spoons to the hotel, and so what we're really doing is just slowing down our time to finish this next mission, 60 spoons to the port, because we're siphoning off 25% of our supply. So how do we kill that? Well, we can delete the whole line, and that's definitely an option. But what I like to do is just remove the vehicles off the line, because that will kill the demand, because there's no trucks to transport it to the town. But the line's still there. If you ever, the game's gonna sometimes make you shift your lines around and do different things. And if you keep lines around, yeah, it makes it a little more crowded, but it also, and I'll delete them if it gets too much. But what it also does is gives you some flexible options. When, say, I need to put something back on that line, I have it all set up. I just go by vehicles, assign them, and we're off to the races. What we'll do for now is go to the vehicles tab. I think it's blue. This is where I get in trouble. Nope, purple. Purple's going to the silver. I'll sell those vehicles. And so what's going to happen at this station is the number of spoons is going to go down. Now it's delivering spoons to line 4 because I did not sanitize my inputs. Like you can have them just pick up alcohol. And these guys, it doesn't matter. There's no one on this route. But let's go ahead and make it what it should have been. It should have been just picking up silver spoons. And that's how I don't mess around with like load of available. I mess around with those occasionally, but if you're messing around with that, I just feel like there's other issues more important to address, loads and whatnot. Ideally, you should have a little bit of backflow and just fill up the vehicle and go on. I think it would matter more for ships. But so what's going to happen now is these numbers should start to come down because we've restricted the line 4. They can only pick up alcohol now. And they can't pick up spoons. And the other line that was picking up spoons, we deleted the vehicles. And so these numbers should come down. And this guy, his consumers, notice our ratio isn't 3-to-1 anymore. The hotel is slowly going down. That's why I always keep it at high. It's not an instantaneous switch. You kind of have to give it time for the system to adjust. And eventually this number will go to 0. We're going to be exporting everything to the cargo. And do we have any spoons? 40, right there, coming in. Oh, we need 60 though. Oh good, we finished the bonus task. So now that that's done, I paused briefly. I don't really need to though. So I don't need this stop anymore. It's dumb, it was for one mission, and it kind of messes up everything. You can see people getting backed up, 30 people. 30 people in this town waiting for trams. Very simple. Come in, Taylor Street on line 2. We'll just get rid of it. So now all these trams are going to come back and start doing their normal loop. But that's why keeping lines around, keeping stations around, it's a lot to keep track of, but it's a lot more fun instead of just deleting stuff once it's finished. Like these trucks are still going. I don't have anything for logs to do, but the town still needs it. It's helping the town grow, and helping the town grow just helps everything happen faster, more supply, more demand of goods and that kind of thing. So I don't mind keeping it running. I don't go in and delete it just because I finished that part of the mission. Just let it do its thing. It's probably making money. It's the red line, line 1. Yeah, so it's not interfering with anything else. So I'm just going to let it do it. More spoons, spoons. You're piled up. 47. How many? I put 3. I only put 2 ships on that line. Really doesn't need any more. Like 2 ships. It didn't even fill that one up. Right? Because it should have established our frequency. This is line... Ship line 7. Every 6 minutes. 5:39. Right. So 6 minutes. That means at max, what it's going to produce is 100. I'm not even getting up to 100 really because I would need to mess around with this train a little bit. It's a little full, so it's not even producing its full 100. But if it did, it's producing 100 every 12 minutes. So if I'm getting here every 6, all I got to do is pick up 50 units. That's about what it was, right? It was like 51. So the math isn't that hard. Yeah, once you know the world's on 12-minute cycles, set up the line. Get a rough idea of what your frequency is. Your number of vehicles is really, well, depending on how much your line can handle. Like rail, if you're going to set up a 2-way, you can have a lot more, like a circle, you can have a lot more train traffic versus a 1-way, right? You can only have so many sidings. Especially like a 1-way route like right here. Like I don't want to do a whole loop, and I'd rather make this train bigger, but if I make the train bigger, the frequency is going to go down. Because it's going to take longer to get from point A to point B. So we finished that. Deliver 20 logs from here to the mine. Oh good, so we actually do have to. Now 20 logs is not worth setting a rail up for. So what I can do is say, okay, I got to drop off logs here, so let's just put a truck depot in. Great. And these guys are already delivering logs, so instead of delivering logs from here into town, we'll just deliver them up there. And instead of setting up a whole rail and a whole kit and caboodle, we're going to stop and not finish that because we have a bonus task. Now, early on especially, some of the bonus tasks are point-and-shoot adventures. Just kind of... So, I mean, the first 3 have been worse, but this one still has not much of a challenge and more just like, what does it want me to do? Because it's it's really a sandbox game that's trying to do some campaign, and so it's using sandbox tools like terrain editing to make a game. So like what it wants me to do here is just dig for worms, so lower the terrain. So if I lower the terrain in this circle, I'm gonna bump up, and all I did was lower it slightly. I can drop it into the ground like that. But so it's a pretty simple thing. It's kind of frustrating. It's like, no, I mean, give me some logistical challenges, and they do later on, but not here. It's a bit of a storytelling. Northern Bays. There's one more up here. All right. So that should be all the bonus tasks, I believe. There's 3, 1, 2, 3, and those are submissions. So we're done with the bonus, which means we can focus on this and back to our trucks. And small dirt road, just connected right in. 195 grand. Ooh. Oh, okay. And then we'll switch the truck line around, which is the red line. So instead of going into town, we'll just shift it out here. Come on. There we go. And autosave. Sometimes you see that lag, and when it autosaves, it kind of grinds everything down. So they immediately turn around. They'll deliver 20 very quickly. This guy probably already has... No. Now, what station they go to first when you create a route, and like ships especially. Sometimes I'll buy a ship here, and say the route is like from... This is the first stop on the route, and this is the second stop. It will go all the way to the second stop. And like I clearly like built it and wanted it to go to this cargo station first, and it's like, nope. And I know it has some rules on it. I haven't looked. I know like when you buy a bunch of buses at once, they all don't go to the same station. They try to spread out on your network, which I think is nice. I don't think that works with trams because they have to follow the tram network. Delivery trucks, I sometimes see them separate. I'm not sure what the rules are, but most of the time they just all haul butt to somewhere. That's why I just keep the game sped up. If they go off the wrong direction. I think that's why the game's so lenient with money. It's because the pathing and stuff can be weird, and you don't want to like lose money, or you don't want to go in the red or fail a mission just because of AI pathing. So the money's very generous, and it's pretty easy to complete the missions. I think you can get loans if you go negative, but I haven't gone negative, so even in the campaign, I think that's an option. 5 more, and then 5 more, so we'll be done after this with this mission. Sorry, I kept that. It's gonna want us to do something with this bat guano down here, so while we're waiting, I might as well. Oh! Mine caved in, yikes. The town's in a sorry state. We're gonna abandon it, and we're gonna sell stock. We're gonna sell alcohol and silver here. Okay. Well, the alcohol's not hard. It's right there. It's gonna go up there. We're just gonna truck from this bay. So we're gonna truck. This is another one where I definitely could set up. Like the town was interesting. These two were split, so I did 2 different routes. These 2 can both be carried by the same vehicle and go to the same place, and the mission's not even separated into, you know, alcohol or silver. So I'm just gonna do 1 platform. And I don't want to go into the town. I could go down this line a lot further, but such a short route. The optimization just isn't worth it. And I'll put the depot right next to it so they can come out of here and go right into there, hopefully. Just put 3 on here. Yikes. Didn't set up the depot. And then new line here to there. Come on. Alright, so that will start delivering the alcohol. Wait, gotta make sure it's connected. Truck depot, connect to that and the bay. Great. So I might as well stop supplying alcohol to the town because it's dying. And what we're gonna do, what's supplying alcohol to the town, it's this cargo bay on line 3. So if I just take that, now that line's back to just getting cactus, dropping off cactus, coming back all the way empty, which is sad, but needs to be done. There's nothing, the guano, but I'm gonna pick it up over here, and I just don't want that long of a route. It's not necessary. I have the money. We're not even losing that much. So the spoons now, instead of, so we were delivering spoons down here, right? Yep. We no longer want to do that. So we want to change the second point of the spoon to that. Excuse me. Change it to this one. So now we'll deliver spoons up there. Alcohol's already being produced up there. They'll both get dropped off. You can already see the alcohol here. And those 90 will go away pretty quick. While it's taking care of that, let's just go ahead and build this cargo bay down here. Trying to build it as far up coast as I can. My guess is I played this mission before. I know a while back. I do know the guano will need to get delivered here. I'm not going to do it early, just in case someone's trying to follow along. But that's what it looks like, is guano up to the north. Is there anything I can do to speed this up? I don't mind leaving this on instead of going back into town. I don't really need the town to grow anymore. The mission is getting towards its end. And this keeps that traffic out of town, which again, doesn't really matter. What are we waiting for? Who's consuming? Okay, so it's seeing hotel. You see that number finally did go to 0. El Fuerte Market. Yeah, that's ramping up, and the export should be coming. I don't know why I paused. The export should be coming down. Oh, 10. Good. So yeah, the alcohol is happening quicker. We might get 90 alcohol before we get any spoons. Anyone on this brown line? Nope. There you go. So here's the other issue is I won't be able to fix it here, but we only have one port. And I can't configure it while, I can't delete it while there's someone in. And that can be a problem when they start piling up. It's like, well, you're supposed to be able to stop them out here, and you can manage your port in game, but it's fine. A little waiting isn't bad. I can show you, like, if you wanted to have multiple ports, I'll do it over here where it doesn't even matter. You go into configure, knock off the front. We only have small vessels, so I'll do it with a small platform. And you can do anything on here. I mean, you can, I don't know how far away I can go. Holy cow. That's crazy. Just covers up more of your waterway though, so more interesting than useful. But you can add 2 and then separate the lines, one coming into each, just like you do in railways, or even in the shipping depot. If I get a chance, I might do it here, but now I have so many, like 6 ships coming into this one line. So like I think I could stop that guy, and then stop you. And is anyone in the way right now? Because I do want to show vehicles in the way. Stop you. Just stopping them so they don't try to dock. So hopefully we can get a clean dock. There we go. I did pause briefly because I kind of broke the route, and this won't take too long. So they're all coming from the left. It's gonna look stupid, and stupid as all get out. Why not do something like that? Then we'll just put, because no one has to get upriver for the rest of this mission. Normally you would want to keep this tight. Probably just have, you know, the 2 docks like I showed down below. But heck, let's do this. And see how they're both coming into this one port. It's a terrible, terrible color combination. Let's split that up. And yeah, it doesn't look that great. But it was, split that traffic up. And then I have to, sorry, jumped around. We can get going full blast. I do have to unstop these boats though. That's it, yeah, if you have issues like that, you can always stop vehicles. I'm pretty sure the game later on does a few things to encourage you to stop vehicles. You can also just delete them. Why are you saying you want to deliver? Who are you delivering to? The hospital? Oh, I still have trucks on this hospital line, so it's taken back. Yeah, let's turn that off so we can get this 90 number up. What I was saying, I still have trucks delivering alcohol to the hotel from here. So, well, you can do this a couple different ways. So we did it by deleting the trucks. But say you were getting alcohol from somewhere else and you wanted to leave these trucks. I just don't want to pick up the alcohol from here. So on my line that's delivering alcohol, which is line 7, the brown ships, I can say, hey, at El Fuerte, you don't get to load anything at all. So you're only loading silver spoons. I can even set that. You're only loading silver spoons at top branch, and you're only unloading at El Fuerte. You're not loading up. And that will cut that off. Same as if deleting the trucks, or you can change the truck filters too. So there's several ways to affect supply and demand without having to reroute or even delete vehicles like I did last time. So there's several ways to affect how your industry is supplying who. Filters and vehicles deletion is the most common. This is way too many trams now on this network. I bet our utilization is 20 out of 84. Very easy and to come in here and say all those trams that we needed for. That will help the finances out a little bit. I was losing money. Again, the money is almost secondary. It's not the real challenge unless you just buy high high-speed rail fast trains to deliver coal or something. And even you can make that work. I mean, the game is not very well balanced as I mean, it's easy to exploit if you really don't want to play it how it's intended. Spiffing Brit has a good one on that. It's you can break it very easily, but if you want to play it like a city, industry, transportation, logistics game, then it works pretty well. And I just find it how nice it is where it's like, oh yeah, if I increase my mass transit, my private vehicles go down, and that makes my truck deliveries easier. Like it makes sense and follows. You can see traffic with there's all these overlays, very similar to Skylines or SimCity, and so you can see the traffic. We still have some traffic, and of course, in the automotive era, that would be a lot bigger. But or all the numbers would be bigger with a bigger town. There's still some traffic around the edges. What's important though is like if I set up this tram network, I've now like cleared out to an extent the private vehicles traveling on this road. Like if there's a citizen going from here to here, they're probably only a couple of them are going to take their private car, and most are going to take the transit. And so when you set up your trucking lines, you kind of want to piggyback on your train because those lines will be really empty. But then you have a problem where your goods delivery, your industry, and your public transport is fighting for the same stops and that kind of thing. If your public transport is good enough, your industry trucking can go on these roads because you're sucking so many cars off the road that it's not a big deal. And that way you don't have the problem with doubling up. So you can keep them together, but at some point it's going to get big enough that maybe you want them separate. You do want private cars off the road, so more public transport, rail lines when you get there, avoiding, this map only has 2 cities, avoiding connecting cities with roads. As soon as you give the people a road, they're gonna... As soon as you give them a highway, they use it. And that just increases the traffic everywhere. So if you can just connect cities with trains, you can avoid that whole hassle. Is there anything I could be doing to make this go faster? Oh yeah, I definitely can. So we're losing... It's all overflowing here. I should have put a lot more vehicles on this road. So I just double it, and they all come pouring out. Right next to it, hopefully they go here first. Thank you. I do have luck, like if I put it in between, I can't really figure out which one. It's not even the closest all the time, but if I put it on the far side of a line, especially close to a pickup, they usually figure it out. I'm gonna go ahead and just place another depot. See if I can do that same strategy. So here, I'm gonna buy the ships that go from the guano here over there. So they should stop here first. Just get those last ones. All right. Oh, I guess the guano is... I guess I made a choice at some point where the guano didn't matter. So, because I think this is it. Erase the traces. Now here's... This is a big reason why I'm making the video, because what does that mean? It's slowly going up, it's changing. What is it? Transform the city. What does this mean? It just means erase stuff. And you can come in here with the bulldozer and just... it will go up if you do this. I think I'm destroying... We're trying to erase the town. It's showing that you can do that. So you can do it click by click. It's very loud. Sorry about that. Or you can also come in here with the erase tool. And it doesn't erase the city, but it will erase trees and whatnot. And that counts for this. So you just do a big eraser. Or you can, if you want to feel good, you can just demolish a lot more of the city. That's Pacific Paradise Transport Fever 2. Hope you enjoyed.